lost. Over here, I'm a Boglin. Me and my buddies need a place to hide out.
Hello Boglin Watchers, it's your number one Boglin boy Jim Sterling here. Now, we love to talk about Boglins, but before we can, I would just like to make an official apology. Recently, I embarked upon a live Boglinwatch tour, mostly in my house, and during the last show I went on a lengthy tirade, one that could only be described as angrily sexual / sexually angry. It was a tirade aimed at Nigel Farage, the inventor of the British pint of lager, and I just want to say it was a heated Boglin moment. It won't happen again until it does. Thank you for your support. That's in the past though. We're here to talk about the future. Well, I mean, technically we're here to talk about the past because these are toys that are really old. But the future of the past, because the past is now. Because it's the future. Well, if it's now, it's the present. Shut up and look at Kwirk. This is Kwirk. This is a very, very special Boglin. I have been trying to get hold of one of these for a while. And it's difficult, because you do see them for sale. You see them for sale, sure. But what you want is one that A, has a box, B, is decent quality, and C, most important of all, you want one that works. This is a Boglin from, I think this is one of the 80s, or, no, it was around the time of mini Boglins, so this would have been 90s, I reckon early 90s, and it's an electronic toy. Now, the chances of those working, very slim. The one selling this on eBay said it worked. I scarcely believed it. I don't know if you remember the last time we looked at some electronic Boglins, we looked at a couple from 2001. No, 2000. We looked at a couple from 2000 and only one of them worked. Belcher, the blue one, didn't work. This one did. I can't even remember if I left the batteries in it, but let me pop him out and see. No. I took the batteries out, so that was a waste of everybody's time. But his eyes light up and he makes noises. Now, the year 2000, obviously not the first time they did that, because we've got Kwirk here. So before we open up Kwirk and see if it really works, let's have a look at the box. We see here, eyes light up. There's your promise. He has 2 sounds and 2 sons. Now, I've looked everywhere in this box and I have found no evidence of children. In fact, there's no evidence that that's how Boglins reproduce. I mean, we know they have eggs, but there's been no sign that, you know, you can actually have a son that is a Boglin. I mean, all of the Boglins I have, I consider them my children. I consider them my sons. I might have them suckle at my breasts, nursing them, calling them Sweet Robin of the Vale. I may do that, I may not. But anyway, we're getting off fucking topic. I don't breastfeed my Boglins, okay? Let's have a look at the stats. Now, Boglins, of course, come with little personality traits. The more the series went on, the lazier they got. But here we have the rundown for Kwirk. Diet, spiders, habit, burping, personality, honest. Yeah, alright. Anyway, we're going to open it up, and just as I do, note that this was a change they made over the years, towards the 90s. The packaging got a little bit less integral to the product. You know, we get a, let's grab an 80s box here. This one actually has a Slobster in it. This is, we'll be seeing him in a later one. We'll be doing a Soggy Boglin special. But just pretend that Plunk is in here and not Slobster. You see here, we got the plastic cage that opens and closes. The effort made to try and make it look like a real box with the Boglin family tree, the Bogology stuff on the back. Whereas your latter packaging, you know, just products you can get on the back, and this sort of plastic front with just some card cage bars added. Now, any bogologist worth their genitals are going to want to know their colours. And the inside of the Boglin box lets you know your colours. Cyan, yellow, magenta, black. I have no friggin' idea why that's part of the packaging, but hey, if you ever want to know what magenta looks like, or black, here you go. Let's open this up and get out our Kwirk. So, opening up the box, and off he pops. We'll put the box away for now, don't need to look at that. We've looked at the box. Here is Kwirk up close. A particularly creepy one, I find. I think that's partly because of what they've done with the eyes, to make the eyes light up. So he's got a kind of wild stare and a facial expression that's sort of blank. He looks fairly, like he's gonna strangle you in your sleep. But for someone whose personality is honest and they eat spiders and burp, he's fairly harmless. I will vouch for Kwirk. I'll go on record and vouch for Kwirk. I think he's a good egg. I don't think they'll strangle you in your sleep. They just look like they do. But there is, as always, a sort of adorable ugliness to it. Kwirk is cute, I think. A rather cute little thing. All squashy. Because of the electronics, different shape from your average larger Boglins. Your larger Boglins that come in that size box normally have a lot more of a tail, a lot more going on with the arms. We grab a vlob here for comparison, and as you can see, even though technically they both count as large Boglins, your vlob is significantly larger, got a longer tail here as opposed to this sort of stubbiness. We've got the little arms here. Here we have rather long arms that are sort of bolted in with a plastic shoulder. And then of course they do the whole eyes moving, and there's a lot more space inside. You can put your hand in. I've got fat hands and also wearing gloves, so a bit more difficult, but all of that business. Consequently, less room in here. Nothing for manoeuvring the eyes. The eyes don't move. The best you can kind of get is to just get the mouth opening and closing like so. Just so. The question, of course, is, does it work? Now, I was skeptical, even though, I bought it, it said it worked, and I decided, let's just trust. Let's just go in and trust, because if it works, that'll be a good Boglinwatch for me. So, bought it, got it in. None of the screwdrivers I had worked. I had one small screwdriver that could get in, but it wasn't going. Like, it was stuck. And I was like, has this been glued in? So I bought new screwdrivers from Amazon, got them in, found one the right size to get in there and with enough grip on it that I could really just pull it. And the result is, here we go. Where's the button? Right, and the result is, here we go! Fuck, where is that fucking button? And the result is, here we go. Okay, I've got to take the glove off. And the result is, here we go. Again! 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 And one more for good luck, why not? Brilliant! Best thing. God damn, I'd buy the best shit. I'd buy the best fucking shit. I knocked my little Mysterio figurine off the desk when I slammed it. It's okay though, he's intact. Good old Quentin Beck. What's that, Kwirk? You want me to talk about this book that you're stood on? Fucking glove. Oh, that's a yes? Okay, let's do that then. Oh, wow, I didn't even notice this was here. It's Lost Artifacts of Greygast, a 5th edition magic item compendium. That's Flynn Flashwood on the cover. I know that because that's a D&D character that I played. What a great book this seems to be. The Lost Artifacts of Greygast. I've just discovered this book on my desk. I have no connection to it whatsoever. It's not like, you know, one of my best friends ever wrote the book and that person also happens to be my DM in D&D when we play it, and it's not like, you know, he really should owe me some badass gear and items and shit when we next play, and that maybe, you bastard, you shouldn't chop my character's arm and leg off for your own amusement. How about that? Look what I'm doing for you. All I want is to have a character that keeps his eyes and his hands and his feet. Such a good book though, and full of useful magic items with all sorts of inventive ideas that you can play in any setting. Many-sided dice. Many sides. One great story. You can have that tagline if you want. In terms of quality, you know, how is it aged? Is it dirty? All that kind of stuff. All the stuff I think about as a committed Boglin watcher, bogologist, Boglin collector, Boglin aficionado, however you want to describe us, you know. I live without labels, but I am a qualified bogologist. It is very good quality indeed. I'm very impressed by the amount of paint that's been retained on this thing. I'd be willing to bet this one hasn't been played with all that often. The biggest example of paint loss would be the tongue. We look in the mouth here, we can see 2 rather large streaks here, and then some over here where it's flaked off. But all told, especially in comparison to some of the other Boglins that you can get out there that are considered decent quality, I mean, this is a top-notch version of Kwirk here. Very proud of my purchase on this one, very pleased. Couldn't be happier. One of my favourite new additions to the collection, and just very, very pleased that something that old still works. You still press the button and it still goes which is really all you want in a Boglin. Kwirk.